The esports world was taken by storm when Blizzard announced that Overwatch would be franchised in a multi-million-dollar league in 2016. However, nobody expected that 2 years later, Epic Games would be sitting on a goldmine with the explosion of Fortnite into the esports scene, which would actually take over Overwatch and cause for a slight decline. Now, within the next couple of years, it's very unlikely for any other game to rise up the way Fortnite did. But as someone who's been working in the gaming industry for over a decade, I'm here to present reasons using evidence and statistics that dictate the Overwatch League can be surpassed by a game that's unknown to the North American region. That game is called Crossfire. Now, Crossfire is an FPS game that kind of looks like CSGO. The game has a huge esports scene in Asia, with the majority of players from China and South Korea. According to BusinessWire.com, Crossfire had about 660 million players worldwide and is one of the most played games in the world right now. As a game is massively growing in the esports scene, a franchise league is now becoming a reality because the CFPL, also known as the Crossfire Pro League, is now transitioning into a franchise league just like the Overwatch League. An esports organization called Team Reciprocity just teamed up with LGD Gaming, which is one of the biggest esports orgs in China, and the partnership was to allow both teams to secure one of the 10 spots in the new Crossfire franchise league. Now, Chad Larson, the CEO of Reciprocity Gaming, compares the two gaming leagues by categorizing his reasons to cost of entry, player base, peak viewers, average concurrent views, and hours watched. Now, starting with the cost of entry, when you compare the two games, the biggest eye-opener is the low cost of entry into the CFPL franchise league compared to that of Overwatch. This is an interesting note, as a new Call of Duty league, which will be franchised next year, also has a high entry cost of $25 million, which is also run by Activision Blizzard. But there's more potential for brand awareness in the CFPL, considering that LGD would only pay $1.5 million to enter the new franchise league. That's literally $28.5 million less than the starting franchise fee in Overwatch League, which can go up to $60 million. So with Crossfire having such a low cost of entry, there's a massive appreciation potential, and many more owners are willing to save their money and go into this game rather than Overwatch. The player base might also surprise you because Crossfire has a 16 times bigger player base than Overwatch. Crossfire's player base is around 660 million, while Overwatch has a player base of 40 million. Now, Overwatch used to cost about $60, now they lowered it to $20. But on the other hand, Crossfire is a free-to-play game. Yet, Crossfire made more money in 2018 than Blizzard did from Overwatch. Now, both games exceeded the $1 billion mark, but Crossfire still had the edge in revenue made in 2018. The perfect explanation for this would be Crossfire's way bigger player base. When you have a higher player base, you're collecting way more money from across the board. If we analyze two major events from each game, we have the Overwatch World Cup in 2018 representing the Overwatch League, and then we have the IEM Expo Invitational 2018 representing Crossfire. Now, the Invitational for Crossfire had about 3.6 million peak viewers. The Overwatch World Cup had about 1.9 million peak viewers. So Crossfire's numbers blew the Overwatch League's numbers out of the park, with a 1.7 million peak viewer advantage. And what's crazy is that this game is so unknown to the North American region. I bet you 70 to 90% of the viewers watching this never heard of this game before. I used to be a professional player in that game, but the game was so small that I had to quit, and I actually moved on to become an Overwatch professional. However, it's so interesting to me that Crossfire is actually blowing up to this massive esports power, even surpassing some of the numbers from Overwatch. Now, if you look at the average concurrent views, Crossfire also beats Overwatch with 1.9 million average concurrent views, whereas the Overwatch League has about 1.1 million average concurrent views. So Crossfire wins that category as well, and it just seems that Crossfire might have a greater potential than the Overwatch League in terms of being a player, in terms of being a staff member, and in terms of being an owner. Now, Overwatch still has a bright future, even after Fortnite took some of its spotlight and its player base away. The Overwatch League is still a massively successful franchise and seems that way for years to come. However, if you're a player and you haven't made any success in the Overwatch path to pro and your career just seems stuck, now might be a great time to download Crossfire and give it a chance. Smilegate Entertainment announced Crossfire X, which should come out within the year, and it's basically a new remastered version of Crossfire. Many people are saying this game will be massive, and the statistics that I mentioned support this claim. This game will have a franchise league and millions of funding will be supporting it. And also, this game will be a worldwide phenomenon with millions of Asians looking to continue playing the game. However, will the game be huge in North America? Only time will tell, but for now I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sorry about my inactivity, I had a lot of personal issues, but I'm back on the grind. My name is MOETORIOUS and this video is brought to you by ESTNN.